So, press like, subscribe, notification. I like to tell unique stories so they will not resonate with everyone. It's a story, all right? Allegedly. Allegedly, that's the story, okay? So you could probably be dealing with the blogs. You're dealing with the bloggers. I saw the King of Swords, so you also could be dealing with a representative, a lawyer, a politician, a doctor, a professional, someone that studied in that certain field. Like I said, studied in that certain field. Someone could be in that field. You're going down that rabbit hole, I guess. These are all the acclimates right here. Also, these could be plaques on the walls. This could be achievements. And then we get this woman right here. Let me tell you a story. I forgot what her name was. Let me look it up. There's this story I feel like I have to tell you about it. Engineers. There was this woman who was going to college, and she was the only woman in this whole group of engineers. And she got made fun of a lot, but she ended up graduating top of her class, 3.9 or whatever, GPA average. And the guys used to make fun of her and tell her that she didn't belong there, right? But she didn't care. She dealt with the humiliation, all of that, ended up graduating. So everybody went and moved on to work for the biggest tech companies, but they would not take her. So she was gifted by her grandma $5,000. With those $5,000, she started to invest in her own company. Her first year, she only made $20,000. The second year, she made more and had more employees. As it kept going, to the point, I think right now her company's worth $800 million. This is for the woman that men said couldn't. Or vice versa. I feel like men breaking into certain industries as well, where it's more women driven, and you have to learn to identify as a woman, not like sexually, not like that. It's understanding a woman's needs, being more intuitive, less logical, more intuitive. I can't explain it. But against all odds, imagine that, you know, if she would have quit, she would have never been one of the first women to ever start her own Fortune 500 company. All right. It started with these kind of men saying, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I feel like this horse, it's a young horse and they're mounting up, right? But this is the drive. Also, someone could be showing up in... Is this a chauffeur or something like that? Someone could have a lot of money right here. Here's the Four of Pentacles. I invested in myself with the little bit that I had, because the Four of Pentacles, that's a little bit to invest in yourself. That's a little bit. But when it was ready, it blew up. Not in the bad way. The tarot card is not always the bad way. It's almost like someone predicted the fall of an empire, and they were already on their way to be on top of here. Three of Wands and the King of Cups. I feel like there's three people, three major companies right here. Three major players in this game. They sized them up. See, because they hired people who were just men. They hired people who were just men. Stay with me for a second. Men who were underestimating one of the most powerful people in the future. And these men not knowing shit that they fucking, just because they were men, they were allowed in, just because that gave them an advantage over this woman. And because of giving that position to the wrong people, just because they're a man. all those companies failed. You can reverse the roles if you want, because there is parts of the industry where a woman runs certain things and man can now do it. I'm going to go into prostitution. There was once upon a time when we thought prostitution is just a woman. We haven't really gotten to the reality of men who prostitute on all the industries. So we sit here and think that, you know, as long as you have a pussy, you got $40 on you. That's what I heard. But once, I think an asshole might be worth a little bit more. I was thinking about this today. Because they do that a lot. I was just thinking, man, people like them real stupid, huh? Real stupid, because you get them when they're stupid. You make them pay the glitz and the glam, all that. You make them pay for, like, yeah, it's really coming out of all their pocket, their hard work. You're just literally pimping them out. So I was watching certain things where I was just like, damn, y'all really just selling your ass, your pussy, being pimped out, both men and women. Now we're like seeing the truth for things, for what they really are. Okay? Willing to do all of this so you can get all of these. Also, someone has all these plaques that came from sucking dick, fucking, or bending over. I don't know. I have to be really graphic about this right now. Sheesh. And that's true. You know, there's a lot of people in these big companies or whatever. The way they got there was from being passed around. All those medals are the time when someone had to get on their knees. That was 1984 is one. 1987. All those plaques remind somebody of what the fuck they did. What they did to get that plaque. Because I feel like I smell bullshit. Bullshit. That's what I heard. I heard bullshit. Cap. I heard cap. I also feel like, because you never know. You might underestimate a poor person that really knows what the fuck they're doing. The devil's out here. People hearting the devil's shit. Also, I heard that's the devil's music. Is it the devil's music? Anything that is musical is the devil. And I wonder why sometimes, because I guess some of the highest frequencies come from music. And some of the most lower vibrations also come from music. Ace of Wands. But you love it. But I love it. The get naked music. That be out there on some fucked up shit music. But it sells. Also, sex sells. I said sex sells. You could be doing journalism. Alright. Shit, that sucks, man. You're about to find out everybody you ever fucking loved is a fucking... They in on it. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. People are starting to speak out about certain things. Right. If someone's sitting down with someone, I feel like there's two sides of the story. You need to sit down and listen to the story. If you're a journalist, someone's going to sit you down. They're going to call you and they're going to sit you down. And they're going to bring something that is going to... That's a lot of information to hold. Alright? I think that you guys are... Because this is the 9 of Wands. You guys might be in a room for 9 hours. So I hope you brought some food. You brought your little drink. Because the things this person has to say is going to make your eyes go all the way to the back of your motherfucking head. Who would have thought that you would land all this information in the blink of an eye? It's time